Well, hello there, friends, on this lovely Sunday afternoon at about, on this lovely Sunday afternoon, September 17, 2017. It's about noon, just taking lunch, aka go drive around somewhere, find a parking lot with, a tree to park under to get some shade and enjoy the silence, more or less, right? Sit there with your thoughts, etc. You can't sit in your car with a thought, T-H-O-T, but you can sit in your car with thoughts. So this will be the last day of the work week. I'm off Monday, and then I'm going back in on Tuesday. It's the lovely changeover between working weekends and not working weekends, where it's the oh wait, I'm off from work, yay. Oh wait, now I only get one day off. What is this? I got some gas. I bet you do got a lot of gas. I have to say, it's always nice. It's always nice when you can go to a gas station and there's not really any cars there, Just like a nice sort of quiet whatever day, you kind of stand under the thing to get some shade. Maybe the breeze rolls through, and you don't have that feeling of just like cars in line waiting to get to the pump. So that was a nice little thing. So yes, folks, here we go. September 17. We're past the halfway point, aren't we? I think I read some comments. Somebody said, remember how excited or hopeful you were at January 1st, right? Now it's the reality of what you've actually done or how your year has actually gone. As September comes closer to a close, and you're going to have, October, November, December. You're going to have 3 months left in the year, folks. Wow. Just the same year over and over and over again at this point, isn't it? It's getting colder outside. Even though there is sort of that heat and sunlight and stuff like that, it is definitely getting colder. The changing of the seasons. See, it's... do you ever just sometimes sit... You find a place that find a parking lot somewhere with trees that doesn't have a whole lot of foot traffic and car traffic, and you just kind of sit there. Maybe open up the sun window and just look at the trees swaying in the wind, the sound of the leaves, until, of course, the parking lot starts getting packed up too, and, the noise of people ruins the feeling. That's why it's sometimes nice to go to places after they've closed, and there's not really anybody in the parking lot, just you. You can, I don't know. So I don't know if I'll number this video this way, but this is technically day 2 of NOFAP. Didn't FAP yesterday, wasn't planning to go on a NOFAP whatever thing, but I watched a little of producer Chris's stream, and he convinced me to do it. I think he wants to also do it. 100 days of NOFAP. I did over 100 days of NOFAP last year, so I know I can do it. So, day 2, folks. Day 2. I mean, nothing to really report. So, not going to make a big deal out of it with this video. So, producer Chris, you convinced me. I'm going to do it also. Day 2 of NOFAP. I think he was mentioning if you get to 100 days, it's going to be Christmas or something. I don't know if the math exactly works out to that, but how about it, folks? What else is going on, folks? So good news. So I believe, so I went for a pretty long walk recently, like over an hour, and long walk to you is going to the kitchen. Whoa, to Georgie boy. Yeah, let me guess, you went to kitchen. And it's long walk. Oh, my feet hurt. Right. I went outside. I put on those same sort of walking shoes I bought since I hadn't done any long walking for a long time, and I figured, well, has my left foot healed at this point? How is it doing at this point? And good news, after over an hour of walking, I didn't have really any pain other than just sort of general, your foot kind of is tired after walking for that long, but I didn't have that same sort of awful, it's usually like you lay down or something like that, and then you stand up and you really feel that pain in your, plantar fasciitis. So, hey man, that's good. So I'm going to probably try to ease into it. I'm not going to go for super long walks everywhere, but I think I'm going to start trying to go for hour-long, give or take, walks starting tomorrow. So, and I'll do that because, as I don't know if what I said in the last video or the stream, but yeah, did something to re-aggravate the golfer's elbow, and I was doing overhead pressing the one day, and I don't think maybe I warmed up. Well, I didn't warm up at all, and I think my form was a little sloppy, that my outside elbow here is a little discomfort, that if I make a fist and like put my hand up to a certain point, I can feel, basically I can't really do it's like a noticeable, like, sharp little thing that, like, oh shit, that's not comfortable, and you're trying to do any pushing exercise. So yeah, that kind of sucks. However, the good news is I showed it on the one stream. I went and just bought myself a TheraBand, like the TheraBand Flex Bar. It just looks like a wobbly, suggestive, like, contraption, because everything I sort of look up online for healing, like golfers and or tennis elbow, which I think that's what it is on the outside. It's golfer, it's like that tendon thing that connects all of this. Tennis is this that connects it up there. So so I just decided, all right, none of this, like, whatever meme exercises and shit like that I've been doing. I'm just gonna do what I see is commonly suggested and follow their protocols, none of whatever shit I had in my head, because it clearly wasn't working, It clearly wasn't working, so I'm going to try something else here, try something that's sort of medically suggested or some crap, and just take a break off of upper body, whatever stuff. So, that was a little depressing thought, because it's like, oh man, I want to go do dips or go work on pull-ups or go do overhead pressing, but, well, if this shit ain't getting better, gotta put my ego aside, and for what it's worth, I can do walking, which is good. I got that TheraBand, so I can do the exercises for this and that. And then at least take 1 week off from upper body stuff and just see how week 2 feels. If it sort of feels better, maybe I can do at least like push-ups or something like that for another week and see how that goes. So, plus also core work, right? Which I was really starting to ignore again. So walking, rehab exercises for my elbow, whatever stuff, and can always do leg raises on the floor without the need to, like, can't really hang on to a bar now because so whatever the fuck I did clearly sort of re-aggravated it there. So I guess that's the plan. So, you know, it was a shitty feeling where it's like, well, great, I'm not going to be doing my strength exercises. I'm going to lose progress. But, well, not the end of the world, folks. It gives me an opportunity to work on other stuff, and you're just trying to turn lemons into lemonade, as the kids say, right? You know? Yeah. So the other thing, folks, is definitely just kind of talking to people at work and stuff like that. And you just sort of, speaking of changing of the seasons, and sort of what I described in that night video was, you just sort of realize how many people are like, oh shit, there's a bunch of people looking for other jobs and sound like they're gonna move on. Not even just like, you know, it's direct and like not so and indirect coworkers and stuff. So and just this overall general thing of like movement, but yet you are still there. You're still one of the originals or whatever, at least from a certain time. It is truly an awful feeling, folks, especially if you're like me, where you like routine and you like known knowns, so to speak. It's a truly awful feeling, especially, you know, it's one thing if like, oh, one person here and there, but when there's this very noticeable, because people start commenting about it, I'm like, oh shit, man. A lot of people seem to be looking for other stuff and blah blah, or moving up or moving on and this and that. It is an awful feeling where, you know, you're the one still there, but everyone else is moving on. It's an awful thing that you have, folks. It's an awful thing that you have. It's a mixture of basically burnout, but also comfort, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm waiting for there we go, they finally moved along. Yeah, I think it's because there's a whole bunch of trees on this side, so it's alright. I understand. I'd want to park, well, I did park here too, but yes, folks, extreme burnout, but also fear to leave your comfort/safety zone. You know what I mean? Oh, looks like they're back. Oh, did you forget what you left, buddy? Alright, we'll come back a third time for something, but yeah. Extreme burnout because you've been somewhere for a long time, been doing something for a long time, but that sort of, you're stuck to a comfort zone, you're stuck to safety, you're stuck to it that you're honestly scared to give it up, even if you absolutely hate it. And so it's just that feeling more and more, and sort of moments like this where Seems like a lot of general movement around you, and you know, and that feeling where, oh, I'm still here doing this same old shit, where it's just the more and more that sort of question of, you know, are you gonna finally have the courage to make some challenging, uncomfortable decisions with your life, or are you just going to, or are you just going to keep telling yourself that the uncomfortable chair that you're sitting in, the uncomfortable bed that you're laying in, well, it's not so bad. Sorry, somebody walking some cute dogs. Look like a corgi and a Labrador, black lab. So, yeah, folks, which is sort of the, you know, like I've brought up in the other videos, is in the world of advertising, there's something called A/B testing, where essentially you try out some different stuff and you get the data and you find out what actually works. You know, there are things that you thought should be great. You know, all right, Johnny, the kids are going to love this one, right? That turn out to be, oh shit, I guess this isn't working, and other stuff more, you know, I mean, it sort of makes sense, right? But, like many other things in life, I mean, oh, everybody knows you should eat right and move around and all that stuff, but just because you know that you know what to do doesn't mean you do it. So it's just that feeling of, you know, sort of applying that principle to your life, applying A/B testing to your life of what's worked, what have you actually done, what's worked and what hasn't, you know? And if it's not working and it hasn't worked, why do you still keep doing it? Like I said in the one video, you know, it's just sort of all that's sort of left now is all the shit that you keep putting off, you keep being too lazy to get around to, that just sort of, yeah, whole bunch of shit you don't want to do. You want to do, but you don't want to do. You don't, I should say, you don't maybe want to, you want the results, not the work, right? You know, as the years sort of go on, as the same shit just keeps happening over and over, and as periodically the seasons, I shouldn't say in your life because you stay the same, you know, it's almost like being an NPC in a video game, just going through your pre-programmed little routine of where you walk, where you go. When somebody talks to you, the sort of pre-programmed things you say, is sort of what it feels like. Just existing as a freaking NPC in a video game. It just is. The years go by, the more it sort of feels like life is just swirling round the drain. And the more, you know, you should say, watch the seasons around you go of people coming, sort of being there, and it feels like, man, I'll probably be the one who sort of leaves before them or whatever, and then you find out, oh shit, man, how wrong that is. You're the seemingly immovable rock there as they sort of move on. That's you know, more and more that feeling of how long, how much more, I don't mean that in terms of suicide, folks. Just it is a little surreal to think about, isn't it, though, folks? So, this year has been literally exactly the same as last year and basically the year before that. It's always that feeling of, oh, well, at least it's a new year. I'm going to really fix it this time. And you blink your eyes and the year is almost completely gone and you're in exactly, if not maybe slightly worse situation in some ways, position, right? There's this feeling sometimes too where your head is just so clogged up with a bunch of shit that it seems like the answers are simple, and they are, but at the same time, you just don't know what the hell you even want anymore. Other than to finish a work day, finish a work week, just sort of sit in your car somewhere away from other people watching the sunset go down, right? Feels like you could sit there forever sometimes. So yeah, that'll probably about do it for the video. As for the one girl I talked about, who I finally got the email from, I'm not terribly, honestly, there's been some divided opinion. Should I just go anyway and be friends? And who knows, do you tactically orbit until maybe she becomes single again, but just try not to really think about it? Or like what, introduce you to friends or blobbity? Well, I'm sure, Greg, you're listening to sports radio right next to me with your windows down and everything blasting there. That's really fun. See. Turn off this, turn off the... There, to stop block most of the audio, I think so. Honestly, I'm not really sure if I want to get coffee with her anymore. I mean, I don't need another quote-unquote friend, another quote-unquote friend that, oh yeah, let's get, it's just more of this pointless coffee getting, this endless coffee getting, hoping that something will sort of work out or something like that. And it's one of those things where I kind of know how it's going to go. Oh, you meet up, you chat a little to this and there, now knowing that this person's not available, and maybe it's bullshit anyway, maybe it's just them tactfully whatever, saying, hey, oh, I'm in a relationship, oh yeah, it's just so you don't ask anymore. So they're nice about it, right? And then you have your little conversation about who knows what that's probably not going to go as interesting. It's just you pretending to care about whatever they're saying, whatever they're into, except there will be no payoff for it, right? There's not going to be any payoff. So, and then the thought of like a second meeting, knowing once again there's not going to be any payoff for anything. Well, don't you just want to get to know a person? Yeah, that's what I need. That's more. Yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid I'll probably have to close the chapter on this girl. Whatever the reality of the situation, whatever, is she telling the truth, is she not telling the truth, is she actually interested, was she interested? It doesn't matter, folks. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna... You know what hasn't worked for me, folks? Speaking of A/B testing, is this sort of orbiting, this sort of like, oh, I let them know how I feel. I know they got somebody right now, but maybe eventually they won't be taken, and then they'll come running to me. You know, like, no, I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. So, just gonna end that right there, folks. The end for that. No need to waste any more time with this sort of false sense of hope in the back of your head, even if you tell yourself, oh, I don't really care. You know, I'll just sort of put my coin in there in case I get my little wish or something like that. It's not worth it, folks. It's not worth it, folks, because it's never worked out for me. And I don't think that, you know, that's just this sort of meme of like, oh, all these women or something know I'm interested in them. Maybe eventually one of them will finally see the whatever. I'll orbit tactfully, right? And eventually they'll see how much I really care, or they'll be no, folks, it's not worth it. There is absolutely no point. And I don't need another person to have to, let me go. Let's this endless coffee getting, like I said. I will just save the money. Alright, folks, and on that note, it's pretty soon. I actually drove kind of far away. I couldn't find any good places far away, so got a bit of a drive back, so I'm gonna stop this video. We'll probably do another live stream tonight. Hopefully you guys behave yourselves more, okay? You know, it's the nice stream. It should be family friendly, inclusive, etc., folks. So, alright, folks, bye-bye.